Welcome back to our channel, and thank you for joining us today. In this video, we're going to explore a fascinating research topic: geopolitical risk and investment. How does the Israel-Palestine conflict influence foreign investment decisions and risk assessment for multinational corporations? We'll discuss the importance of this research, real-world examples, and how to draft the introductory chapter, Chapter 1, of this research. Importance of the research topic. Geopolitical conflicts have always had a significant impact on global investment strategies. The Israel-Palestine conflict, in particular, has been a long-standing and complex issue, influencing the risk assessments and investment decisions of multinational corporations. Understanding this influence is crucial for investors and policymakers alike. By delving into this topic, we can identify patterns and trends that will help investors make informed decisions and governments develop strategies to promote economic stability and peace in the region. Real-world examples. To illustrate the relevance of our research, let's take a look at a real-world example. During the 2014 Israel-Gaza conflict, many international companies operating in the region faced tough decisions. Intel, a major tech corporation, continued to invest in its Israeli facilities, showcasing its long-term commitment to the region despite the ongoing conflict. In contrast, companies like SodaStream, an Israeli beverage company, faced backlash for operating in an Israeli settlement, leading to a change in their corporate strategy. Another compelling example can be found in the pharmaceutical industry. Teva Pharmaceutical Industries, one of the world's largest generic drug manufacturers, is headquartered in Israel. Throughout the Israel-Palestine conflict, Teva maintained its global operations and even expanded, demonstrating a certain resilience to geopolitical risk. On the other hand, some pharmaceutical companies that previously operated in the Palestinian territories faced challenges due to the conflict, leading to shifts in their investment strategies. Chapter 1, Introduction. Chapter 1, the introduction, typically includes a clear statement of the research problem, its significance, research questions, objectives, rationale, and an overview of the research structure and methodology. It serves as the foundation for the entire research study, setting the stage for what follows. Research problem. The research problem could be to understand how the Israel-Palestine conflict affects the investment decisions of multinational corporations and the associated risks. For instance, why do some companies choose to invest in this volatile region, while others avoid it? Research significance. This study is significant as it can shed light on the potential economic impacts of geopolitical conflicts and how corporations navigate such situations, ultimately contributing to the fields of international business and conflict resolution. Research questions. What factors influence the investment decisions of multinational corporations in regions of geopolitical conflict? How does the Israel-Palestine conflict impact foreign investment strategies and risk assessments? Are there differences in investment approaches between industries in conflict-affected areas? Research objectives. To analyze the historical and current investment patterns in the Israel-Palestine region. To assess the perceived risks and rewards of investing in conflict zones for multinational corporations. To provide recommendations for both investors and policymakers based on our findings. Research rationale. This research is essential because it can help businesses and policymakers understand how they can navigate politically sensitive regions effectively. It can also contribute to the broader field of international relations by providing insights into the economic dimensions of conflicts. Chapter 2, Literature Review. Chapter 2, the Literature Review, provides a comprehensive survey of existing scholarly works and research related to the chosen topic, identifying relevant theories and models. It also highlights gaps in the current literature, setting the stage for the research's unique contribution and positioning it within the broader academic landscape. Chapter 2, the Literature Review, is a critical part of your research. Here are some suitable subtopics. Theories and models. The real options theory can be adopted to understand how firms make decisions in uncertain environments. For instance, this theory can explain why some companies may choose to invest in conflict-affected regions when there is potential for significant gains. Literature gap. The literature review should identify gaps in the existing research. For instance, while there may be studies on the general impact of geopolitical conflicts on investments, A gap might be the lack of detailed analysis on the Israel-Palestine conflict's specific influence on foreign investments. Chapter 3, Methodology. Chapter 3, the methodology, outlines the specific research approach, strategy, and data analysis methods chosen for the study. It also discusses ethical considerations, limitations, and delimitations, providing a detailed roadmap for how the research will be conducted and analyzed. Conceptual framework. In this research, 3 independent variables could be political stability, industry type, and corporate risk tolerance, while the dependent variable is the investment decision. This framework will help analyze the factors that influence investment choices. Research philosophy. Pragmatism, as it allows for a mix of qualitative and quantitative methods. Research approach. Deductive, as we will test existing theories in the context of the Israel-Palestine conflict. Research strategy. Case study approach, which allows in-depth analysis of a specific conflict-affected region. Data analysis method. A combination of quantitative and qualitative methods, as this topic requires both numerical data, investment patterns, and qualitative data, perceptions and interviews. Ethical considerations. Protecting the identities of interviewees to ensure their safety in discussing sensitive geopolitical matters. Limitations and delimitations. A limitation could be the difficulty of obtaining reliable data in conflict zones. A delimitation might be the focus on the Israel-Palestine conflict without considering other conflicts. Chapter 4, Data Analysis. Chapter 4, the data analysis, involves the actual examination and interpretation of the collected data, adhering to the methods outlined in Chapter 3. This chapter presents the findings, draws conclusions, and relates them back to the research questions, fulfilling the objectives set in the earlier chapters. The data analysis chapter should be based on your recommended methodology. If it's quantitative, you'll explain how to analyze data, including the sample size. If it's qualitative, you'll explain the analysis process. Chapter 5 Conclusion. The conclusion chapter is where you summarize the key findings of your research and their implications. It's essential to tie back to the research problem and objectives and provide a clear answer to your research questions. Chapter 6 Recommendations. In the Recommendations chapter, you'll provide practical suggestions based on your research findings. For example, you might recommend that multinational corporations diversify their investments to mitigate geopolitical risks. Suggestions for future research. Lastly, suggest areas for future research, such as exploring the influence of other conflicts on investments, or conducting comparative studies to determine commonalities in risk assessment across various geopolitical conflicts. Thank you for watching. In our next video, we'll dive deeper into the specific research methods and data analysis techniques you can use for this study. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated with our research journey.